to tell
How
you.
how impressed have you been with Tyson's development from working with Ben Davison before? Obviously, beat Klitschko before, beat Drew with Wilder in the comeback fight as well, but then developed even further under Sugar Hill Stewart, knocking Wilder out twice.
Let me tell you something, yeah. Tyson, he only needs somebody to wash his gum shield. When Tyson gets in there, Tyson does his own thing. He's got those people around him because he likes them. He likes them. The banter. He likes the chat out of them. It's not what they're doing for him. Let me tell you something, Danny. Fast horse is easily trained. If your man's not got ability, desire like he's got, you can have all the best trainers in the so-called best trainers in the world all roll into one. No good. No good. Yeah, Sugar Hill, he was in the corner, but Sugar Hill, he does what he does, doesn't he? He's just another paid hand, isn't he? He's a paid hand. But let me tell you, no one showed Tyson nothing. He does it himself. It wasn't rocket science what he needed to do to beat Deontay Wilder. But like I say, Sugar Hill, he was in the right place at the right time, and Tyson again, like the previous men before him, he's made them all famous, hasn't he? It's not for how good they are. He didn't do much for Lawrence Okolie, did he?
Stop it. Smashed it.
Where's his one box of tricks with him? Awful. Tyson's that bloody good.
Smashed it.
Trainers can't show him nothing. If trainers was that good and that important, AJ's been through a multitude of them. He's still got the same all up his ring piece, hasn't he? Going nowhere with them. Because
oh my God,
unfortunately,
John.
It's not just about hitting the bags and hitting the pads and having a word in somebody's ear, but really you're thinking about the cash. You've got to know your shit. And at the end of the day, I say about Sugar Hill, if he was that good of a trainer, why did Emmanuel Stewart, his own blood uncle, give Johnny Banks the head job? Why didn't Klitschko employ Sugar Hill instead of Johnny Banks getting the top job? I've nothing against Sugar Hill at all. Nothing. He's a man getting paid like everybody else. Another one feeding and living off the Gypsy King. He'll never get no straighter chat than me.
John's.
Tyson, wind him up and let him go. Just give him a drink of water.
And talking
you can see the envy. That last part. Don't get me wrong. John was on point for a lot of this, but the last part you can start see. Look at the envy in his face. Peep the envy. Yeah.
Employ Sugar Hill.
Here we go. Look, envy.
Instead of Johnny Banks getting the top job. I've nothing against Sugar Hill at all. Nothing. He's a man getting paid like everybody else.
Envy, look.
Another one feeding and living off the Gypsy King.
At this point, John's basically saying he want to be that guy. He want to be living off. You know what I mean? That's what you have to read between the lines here. Yeah, and I'm not a hater on this one because John said a lot of right things. But he envious right now, 100%.
He'll never get no straighter chat than me.
See, he's bringing it back to him. Yeah? Oh yeah, another one living off the bare knuckle king. But if he was with me, he'd never get no one straighter. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of them ones.
Tyson, wind him up and let him go. Just give him a drink of water.
And talking of that...
So, you heard that from John, and he did smash out the park on a number of fronts. And that is what happens. That is what happens with a lot of these celebrity trainers. They kind of cling on. Ben Davison's a classic of this. And to be fair to Ben Davison, that last time, what's the guy's name? Forgot his name now. Lee Wood, is it? To be fair with Ben has flopped on all of the fighters he's been with. Josh Taylor, Tyson Fury. But Lee Wood, it's probably, and to be fair, how many? It's been 5-6 years now Ben's been in the game. So he's probably just about learning some of the game now. And that's why Lee Wood, he did well, fair play to him. But that's the first fight. Every other fighter is ruined. Ruined Taylor. Ruined Fury. Not ruined, but you know what I mean? Let's not forget people. Fury was down bad with Ben Davison. Literally. Couldn't punch for toffee and all sorts. And that's what put him onto the scene. He got put on by Tyson and then nearly half messed his career up. And then moved on to everyone else. All of a sudden, Josh Taylor trying to work with him. Like, unbelievable. Josh Taylor looked unstoppable with Shane McGuigan. And he goes to Ben Davison. It's like, wow. So John Fury is right in that aspect. There is celebrity trainers. And I actually do agree. I agree that Tyson Fury, yeah. Although that's not fair. Because John Fury said, which I do agree with to some extent, that the only thing Tyson Fury needs is someone to wash his gum shield. And hold his spit bucket. Yeah? That would be a fair assessment to make. But why didn't Fury go in there and steamroll Wilder the first time? That implies that there is a level of the trainer having influence. If Tyson Fury just knew the game, he'd have been telling Ben Davison, listen, Ben, I know you want to do flip, flap, flop for 12 rounds, but Wilder can't fight a lick on the back foot, so I'm going to push him back and stick it on him. Now, is it a coincidence? Did Fury learn after the first fight what he's got to do? All I know is Fury employed Sugar Hill, I think 6 or 7 weeks before the second Wilder fight. And he goes in there and steamrolls him. I think it was, to be honest, I think it was a combination of both. I think the reason Fury fired Ben was because he clocked on, this ain't the way to beat Wilder. However, Fury's got to have someone in the corner, ain't he? So why not Sugar Hill, who's going to get on the video and talk about, I like knockouts and whatever else. But ultimately, yeah, John's right that you can bring a horse to water, you can't make it drink. Yeah? Look at Anthony lost his headgear. Yeah? Anthony lost his headgear. All the different trainers, all the sports scientists, all the sports psychologists, all the sports psychiatrists, all the sports nutritionists. Yeah? There's no more ists you can pump into AJ's head. It's gone. You get that, people, yeah? When you lose your head, you can put all the ists you want. Oh, I got a nutritionist and this ist. All the different ists, yeah? Oh, I got this ist and employ this ist. I've got a trainer ist and a boxing coach ist and this one ist, and your head's gone, mate. Yeah? It's like having no fuel in your car, yeah? But having a hole in the bottom of your fuel tank. It's like going to when you lose your head, yeah, and you're trying to get good information, you might as well go to the fuel pump and just start pumping it in. There's a big hole in the bottom. It's all dropping out the bottom. There's nothing to absorb it. Yeah? You can have the best psychologist you want. If you've got no head to download the information, it's just hot air. AJ's head is lost. Anyway, what John was basically saying is that, and I agree with this, Fury was able and willing to change. He wanted to change. That's why he sacked Ben. And really, looking at AJ's career in contrast, AJ didn't really sack anyone, if that makes sense. AJ didn't say, I'm winning here. And I was the one, probably the only one, saying that AJ needs to get rid of Rob McCrappen. I saw the end coming. Oh, YB, stay hating. Oh, YB, AJ, stay winning. Oops. If I didn't say it, I wouldn't say I said it. I said it. 100%. So, AJ never sacked McCrappen. AJ was down bad, and that's what you call panicking kind of thing. AJ was scrambling. Oh, I've just had my cherry popped. Panic mode. That's not when people make good decisions. Well, that's not when things are right. When your head's already half gone and you're falling off. AJ, at that point, after the Ruiz fight, he was half falling off. That's not the time to start well, it's too late then, the point I'm making. And to be fair to Fury didn't wait till he got knocked spark out by Wilder, did he? He realised, this fight shouldn't have gone that way. I need to make a change now. Yeah? And in the AJ fight, or the AJ Ruiz situation, there were fights before that where Rob all due respect here, Rob, he don't really know the game, in my opinion. Rob McCrappen, he don't know the game. He don't. Yeah, look at all of his. AJ was best under Tony Sims, and really, yeah, is Conor Ben juiced? But look at Tony Sims' stable. You got the Welsh guy, James Cordina. You got Conor Ben. You had AJ. They're vicious. Yeah, and the minute Tony left, AJ turned into this scared of his own shadow. So, and I was saying that for years before. But AJ himself, he couldn't see it, and that's the problem with winning to some extent. Oh, but I'm winning, so it don't matter. Oops. You get punched up by Mr. Blobby. 100%. You know what I'm saying? It's too late then. But anyway, that's why I say Fury does have high IQ. It's no good waiting till it's too late. He realised that first Wilder fight was too close for comfort, and it shouldn't have been that. Hence, he changed. However, John Fury is also right that look at Lawrence Okolie. That was a good buy, because that was shocking, I ain't gonna lie to you. And I actually think Okolie's gone backwards. Or is it just a case of Okolie having a proper fight? Because Chris Billiam-Smith really was the first guy who Okolie's fought who had any intention of winning. Or any capability of winning. Do you understand? Ian, Who else had Coley fought? Glowacki, like, never heard of him. All due respect. Never heard of him, and I think that's his best win, like Glowacki, and even then, though, Coley fought Glowacki, and then he started fighting these random dudes like Michael Light or something, and he was going 12 rounds, and that was a bad sign. I think Coley looked better under Shane McGuigan, truth be known. So, like, and I think, to be fair, what's his name? Sugar Hill was telling Coley, you got to let your hands go. But Coley was scared to death. So, yeah, it's a bit of both. You can't blame the trainer because the horse has to want to drink. Equally, yeah, that's the bottom line, really. Equally, though, how much of an influence has Sugar Hill had? Look at that other guy, Ben Whittaker. He's still slapping. Do you understand? Like, people go to Sugar Hill, I want to punch hard. Well, Ben Whittaker's still slapping about and dancing about. So you are who you are, more or less. And I agree that if you can get with one of these big fighters, then that puts you on. But again, someone's got to do it. Someone's got to hold the bucket. Yeah? Someone's got, at the end of the fight, got to take his jock strap off. Do you understand? Someone got to wash his gum shield. So it's kind of like, well, it's the, not lesser of two evils, but someone got to do it. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why John is envious. John's saying, wait a minute. If all I need to do is wash your gum shield, I'll take 10% and wash your gum shield. And to be fair, he has somewhat of a point to that in that respect. At this point, yeah, do I think Sugar Hill's adding value to Tyson Fury's career? Not really. Apart from being honest, but then again, that's not fair because in this third Wilder fight, Fury was getting a bit scrappy. Yeah, and this was, bear in mind, people, this was a clutch moment. Meanwhile, Ben Davidson was looking to throw the towel in. Yeah, in that first fight, Ben Davidson's arse was flapping. And he was about to essentially write off Tyson Fury's career because he's nervous, he's jittery, he's jitty with it. Sugar Hill told Tyson in the 100% clutch, yeah, calm down, pop, pop, bang. Yeah, but it sounds simple. Pop, pop, bang. Yeah, double jab him and stick something heavy on the end. And listen, whether we like it or not, that advice, Fury applied that, and I think within a few rounds, Wilder was out of there. But it's like that kind of clutch performance. You can't value that. Yeah, would John Fury have said the same thing at the same time? We don't know now. What we do know is Fury was having a difficult fight in the middle rounds. I think he went down twice in the fifth round or whatever. Then that fifth or whatever it was scrappy. He was almost fighting into Wilder's plan, just falling in and whatever else. He forgot. He lost his form. He lost his shape. And for whatever reason, that resonated with Tyson. Pop, pop, bang. And he went in there and he got the job done. So, and people say this often, actually, more to do with big sports like NFL or whatever. Managers, of course, don't forget, people, LeBron and whoever else and all the big football players, they've been playing this game for 20 years or whatever. They know what to do. However, a good coach or whatever, their job is not to be micromanaging. Their job is, in the clutch moments, do you make the right calls? That's what you're being paid for. Yeah? 90% of the time, the ship should run itself, unless you're one of these corny football players. I never got that. Oh, we got to fire the manager because it's a team. These grown-ass men. Football's a weird one as well. I'm not sure how it works in NFL, but in the UK, yeah, football's a mad sport. Like, the players can be shocking, and the manager gets to blame. It's like, what? These are grown-ass men. Yeah? Grown-ass, 500 grand a week men, and they can't pull it together. They can't pull their finger out their backside, or they're throwing their toys out the pram. So what is this? Do you know, the manager got to go. Yeah, he lost control. He lost control of a group of grown men. These football managers, they're not managing a nursery school team. These are paid, well-paid, overpaid professionals, and they can't keep their shit together. That pisses me off, truth be known. But anyway, taking football out of it, because football's corny for the most part, but taking football out, as a boxing trainer, that's your job, to make the clutch decisions. Yeah? I mean, look at the Lee Wood fight. In the Lee Wood fight, the first one, did Ben make the right choice? We don't know. You know what I mean? But in the second one, Ben wasn't even needed. And that's another thing, to be fair. A good trainer shouldn't be needed a lot. If you're a good trainer, that's why I don't rate Joe Joyce's trainer. Yeah? Joe Joyce came out in the last few days. The Zhang rematch has been made. Joe Joyce goes, yeah, I'm gonna do some southpaw training this time. I'm gonna do some southpaw training this time. And he was in the changing room after the fight saying, or before the fight, saying, "Oh, what do I need to do to get out of the way of a left hand?" On fight night, you're asking your trainer what you need to do to get out of the way of the left hand. And you're telling me that, oh yeah, but YB, Ismail Salas is a world champion trainer. Oops, you got punched up. Do you know? We can sit here and lie about it. And now you tell me that now after you've lost, and you lost all that momentum, you lost your O, got your cherry pop. Now you tell me that, oh, we're going to do some southpaw work this time. What the fuck? What are these guys doing? Imagine that. Imagine that for a minute. And imagine it. Oh, my name is Ismail Salas. I'm big dog. But we ain't going to do no southpaw sparring for this fight. Wow. It showed. To be honest, it looked like you ain't done no southpaw work. You weren't. To me, that's why. Fair play to Joe Joyce. At least he was honest. Yeah. After the fight, he said, yeah, there wasn't much of a game plan, more or less. He said, listen, or someone said to him, I think it was Coogan. Coogan said, Joe, what was the game plan? Joe Joyce was like, the game plan. Yeah, the game plan was the game plan. So, I mean, there was no game plan. Yeah, no game plan. I don't even mind no game plan so much. Let's say you got no game plan, but you've been banging the southpaw sparring. You know what? I'm so comfortable with southpaws. I don't really need a game plan to go in there and just, I know I got the flow down. You know what I mean? I got the timing down. I got it all down. And yeah, he gonna get it. I get that. But to have no game plan and no southpaw sparring. Wow. And we're talking about the $1 million level here, people. Yeah? So like I said, there are bad trainers out there. And I mean, and even then, Ismail was saying to Joe, I think it was after about 4 rounds of Joe getting his head punched in, his eye punched in, yeah, Ismail was shouting, yeah, go Juggernaut, go Juggernaut, imploring Joe Joyce here to kind of flick the Terminator button. Yeah, go southpaw, Joe, go Juggernaut. Wow. So you ain't done no training for southpaws. You got no game plan. And now your big trick was go Juggernaut. Oops. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's fascinating, to be fair. It's fascinating. I guess there's bad trainers, there's bad coaches, there's bad football coaches, there's bad boxing trainers, but can I sit here and say Sugar Hill's a bad trainer? I mean, but Coley got no one to blame but himself. I don't think you can watch that, and Coley's broken. Now, what I can say is Sugar Hill should be saying now, if Sugar Hill's a man of principle, he should be saying, listen, Lawrence, man, you're bringing my brand into disrepute. Yeah, I can't have you doing that, because that was shocking. That was the worst we've ever seen you. So it's up to you. I'm going to give you one more shot. You pull your finger out your ass, or I'm leaving the relationship, because this is whack. And to be quite frank, the same way Tyson Fury put Sugar Hill on the map, you best believe people are watching that Lawrence Okoli fight and they're saying, "Canal, he's got worse." And it's a fact, he got worse. Okoli's he got worse. He wasn't even throwing punches at one point. There was one point, yeah, the fight got split up. Okoli got a point taken off for holding, and the next thing he did was hold. No punches. He just fell in and held some more. That's mad. Now, what's Okoli doing in sparring? I don't know what he's doing in sparring. Does that make Sugar Hill a bad trainer? It makes me raise my eyebrows for sure. Because people do what they feel most comfortable doing under pressure. Has Okoli been under pressure in training? That's the question. And I'm not being funny, but Chris Billen-Smith, he was doing a good job, but he wasn't really doing much. It's not like Billen-Smith was in there and his hands were rattling off and it's like overwhelming. If anything, really, yes, Billen-Smith scored the knockdowns. And I wanted him to win anyway. After the first few rounds, I thought, get this guy 100%. But apart from the few knockdowns, Okoli, when his hands were going, he looked more dangerous than Billen-Smith did. Billen-Smith, they weren't lucky punches, but Billen-Smith found the target a few times, but he never looked dangerous. There was a few times Okoli looked dangerous, but he had gone. Yeah, here's another 258 management. Yeah, 258 management are specialised in helping their fighters lose their head. Yeah. This is what it is. But yeah, interesting conversation from John. And at this point, do I think John Fury should be in the corner for Tyson? Why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? I do agree at this point. Man, again, Tyson Fury ain't fighting no one. Do you know what I mean? Tyson Fury ain't fighting no one. So really, it makes it even worse for John Fury. Like, fair enough. Will Sugar Hill be more effectual in the clutch moments? Maybe. There's evidence of that. There's some evidence of that. But if Tyson Fury's just fighting bums, why is he flying over Sugar Hill? Like, you'd think for the Fury versus Chisora fight or Fury versus Ngannou, he'd say, you know what, Pops? I don't need Sugar Hill for this. You know what I mean? Let's put my dad on. Let's take Pops off the subs bench. And let's get Pops off the subs bench so we can stop making these envious statements about Sugar Hill. But he didn't. It's kind of a pie, and it makes you wonder. We know Tyson Fury split with Peter Fury. And yeah, Tyson's obviously close with his dad, but it is quite odd. I'm not sure of an explanation. Why would you want a random man in your corner rather than John? Not sure. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and allow it. Let off the bell, 100%. No doubt.